Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live, your favorite Raiders podcast, favorite Raiders channels, favorite Raiders everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt. Also, Panda Subs. Use TDL for 35% off. All right, so we'll talk about this. The game's closer than it really was. And it's crazy. It might have been closer if they didn't kick a damn field goal late in the game. So I don't
know. Maybe they don't get it and they lose by 8 instead of 5. Josh McDaniels, he must have had money on the Raiders versus I don't know if they offer that, like the reverse spread when you're a favorite. I don't know if that exists, but yeah. That was a cover play when you're a favorite, which makes zero sense. And Bill actually tweeted out and made a ton of sense. Like, if he was just going to take the points and take the field goal, he should have just accepted it on the first one where they had the penalty, because then they would have had more clock at least. Who the fuck kicks a field goal down fucking 8 with 2 fucking 30 seconds to go? Oh my god!
I don't fucking know, Matt. I don't know. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I honestly, I don't. That was crazy. And then he did it twice. That was the thing. Okay, so the first time, okay, all right.
It's all right. Okay, there's still a good amount of time left. You're still a ways out. Go for it. But and then again, to Bill's point, it actually worked out perfectly for the Steelers, where they just got the same result with 2 minutes less on the clock. So yeah,
that was mind-blowing. Mind-blowing decision.
To your point, as the score was close, but this feels like a bigger ass kicking than last week, even though it was obviously a one possession game versus a 4 possession game. Somehow this just feels way worse. To lose to the damn Steelers, who had the worst offense in the NFL coming into the league. I mean, and I didn't even think the defense played that bad, but when you give up 3 fucking picks, and you're throwing behind and low to your receivers all day, it's. And you're kicking field goals down 8 points.
It was rough, bro. It was rough. So the thing is, you can kind of tell what offense is going on. I see a lot of people talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, and if he throws 40 passes, I just see somebody talk about that. If he throws 40 passes, you're gonna lose. I mean, he's gonna throw a lot of interceptions. His interception percentage for his career is almost 3 for his whole damn career. I remember I tweeted that out before the season, because you were acting he doesn't throw interceptions. What are these people watching? I really felt like going into this year that nobody watched Jimmy Garoppolo before. And that's the whole buzz going into the season, because really none of this is surprising to me. I really felt like he's going to hold this offense back, and he's just the type of quarterback he is, because Josh McDaniels won't hold your hand. Shanahan holds your hand and doesn't. No, Josh McDaniels you're the quarterback, bro. You're Tom Brady, man. I'm going to call all the Tom Brady plays, because what's bothering me about Josh too this year, he's busting out he's going deep into the passing concepts. He's doing a lot of things they were not doing last year. So he thinks Jimmy Garoppolo can do things, right, that he really wants this offense to roll with. A lot of things they're doing with Mac Jones. And, Garoppolo's just not hitting it. So, so the field goal, the offense is just not good right now. They're just bad, to be honest. They're just bad.
I mean, if you had told me, if you put no logos on the uniforms, or which team's the worst offense in the NFL, it was the Raiders. Outside of Devontae Adams, and I mean, Jacoby Myers had a good game too, but outside of those two guys, once again, could not run block, pass protection. That fell apart when they played a really good pass rush. T.J. Watt. I mean, Jermaine Illuminor, as much praise as we've been singing him for a while, he got his lunch eaten by an elite guy. We found out quickly that Jermaine Illuminor, as great of a season he had last year, not quite at that level, but I mean, even when there wasn't pressure, it was bad. Again, couldn't run the ball. Jacobs actually finished with 60 yards or something like that, which is a season high by 3, by a multiple of 3.
Still hit the under, bro.
Still hit the under.
Vegas keeps thinking he's gonna have he's about to have a breakout game. That's what Vegas thinks. He's gonna have a breakout game. It hasn't happened yet, Vegas, but he hit the under again, and the run. It was funny. They actually started to run the ball when they got in passing situations. So it's that's what we got to do. We got to back these guys up. We just got to be down The Raiders got to go down by 16 points, then we can run the ball and get some get some good bodies. But it's funny you brought up Illuminar because it was when I had Derek came on the show for the Steelers right preview, and I talked about Illuminar how he was losing the most out of everybody in the offensive line, and I said that he was going to have a big game. And somebody to comment got mad at me, so he was giving him a sack and pressure. And I was like, okay, and there you go, you saw it right away. Like dude, just kind of beating him and beating him down, and then the rest of the offensive line. I don't think Parham had a good game. James got embarrassed by Benton. It was like he's at the Senior Bowl. Right?
Yeah, I guess so, man. That guy somehow, whenever we went to Mobile, Alabama, figured out how to rush the passer, and yeah, I mean, just destroyed Bennett. I think didn't he get Parham on the next rep, or was it James again? Yeah, he got Parham on the next one. It wasn't a sack, but it was like a pressure. I think he even got a hold of Jimmy Garoppolo for a second there, but yeah. Yeah, without Cam Hayward, the Raiders' offensive line got destroyed.
Yeah, but this is the best defensive line they face because I mean the Bills they just look really good because the Jets are terrible. Yeah, because the Jets were awful on offensive line play. So I think the Bills just kind of looked better than they actually did rushing the passer. So this past game, the Raiders' offensive line just looked great again because the Broncos obviously can't rush the passer. They gave up 70 points today, so obviously they can't rush the passer. And then you have the Bills. They look really good against the Jets, but I think against the Raiders, it kind of gave them, a little bit of confidence. Like, hey, we got a great offensive line. But I think this is the best kind of most dominant defensive line they face. Yeah, they didn't even have Cam Hayward. You're right about that, man. But they got Benton. That's why you get some great drafting because Cam Hayward's like 34, and that's why you draft Benton right there. Hayward does get hurt. Yeah, go ahead.
I would still argue the Bills are better, but yeah, like you said, like this was a brutal day for the Raiders because it's like even though the Broncos lose, like that's your one win, and some team just hung 70 on them. First team since the merger to hang 70 on a team, and Raiders, like I saw you tweeted out, they got 17 against them. Yeah, beat them by a point. Like this is like this Raiders team. We might be in for a long. What do we got left? We're 3 weeks in and 18, 15 more weeks. And if you're at 14, if you're not counting the bye week, which I don't know.
Yeah, haven't scored more than 20 points yet. I see somebody still wants to talk about Jimmy's ugly pass. Hospital ball Jimmy. Yeah, he throws hospital balls. You see that? He's late as hell too. That's a big reason.
And I feel like they pointed that out too on the broadcast. Like Devontae Adams, like he goes to sit in the window. It's ball's not there, and then it comes, and now all of a sudden the linebacker's in his lap, and thank God Devontae didn't get his head taken off. And then then he overcorrected and started missing low and outside every single time on the end breakers.
Yeah,
like Jacoby Meyer. Like there were so many plays where I felt like Adams could have even had a bigger game, but Garoppolo's putting it on the wrong hip, and he can't lead him for a yak, and I'm losing my train of thought here. Adams has to fall in his seat to after he catches it, where he can't get anything after the catch. Same thing was happening to Myers. There's no secret as to why the Raiders have had 2 concussion scares with their wide receivers in the first 2 weeks, and almost had another one with Devontae Adams tonight.
Yeah, I mean Devontae Adams went off. I mean, I knew that was going to happen. They had nobody that can guard him on that team. Levi Wallace and Patrick Peterson's old. And they had nobody that could do that, and they're going to try to do their 2-man type of thing. And it really didn't work. And then Jimmy was kind of missing him sometimes. That one sack that he took, he almost got hurt. Was that the play that was getting hurt, or was that an interception? I don't know. One of the plays.
The play he got hurt was a sack, right?
The interception is when he had Adams wide open on a quick post, on a skinny post, and or like a quick dig on the opposite side, and he was wide open, and he didn't throw it to him. He's looking right at him, and then he threw a pick. I was like, yeah, man. This is Jimmy Garoppolo, though. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo's never been a top 20 quarterback. I mean, you go to any ranking, you go on any website, most of the time he's like 23, 24. He's been that way for the longest. This is not a surprise to me. It's honestly, it was more shocking that they didn't try to draft somebody behind him because they went into the season like he is a starter and not a spot starter. He's a bridge guy. That's what Jimmy Garoppolo is. And, maybe he's the bridge to, Aiden O'Connell or something, getting some playing time. I don't know if that's going to happen though, because, I think Josh is going to be, they're only 1 and 2. season's early. He's a Patriots guy. So, we adjust mid-season. We start slow sometimes, and then we get better as the year goes along. So he's going to do that with Jimmy Garoppolo. So we're going to see Jimmy for a while. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, somebody asked me in like the mailbag, like when do we start going with the like AOC like conversation, and I said at least half the season, and I mean, I'm already considering wanting to walk that back a little bit because this was just brutal. But I feel like that's going to be the reality. Like Josh McDaniels is going to give this guy at least 8 games to prove himself. So buckle up for the next 5 weeks if you haven't liked what you've seen.
Yeah, because it's true, man. Even though they're not scoring a lot of points and they're not really moving the football. It's like they are moving the football, but they're not because they do something stupid. And he's just kind of he's just being Jimmy Garoppolo. He's just not making the plays that he needs to make and not making the throws that he needs to throw. So, it's been pretty ugly on offense. They can't run the ball, really can't pass the ball, really. I mean, you can throw to Adams, you can throw to Myers and all these guys and get all these chunk yards. You got down 23-7, which ended up being like a garbage time drives anyways because you kicked the field goal down 23-15. What score? What the fuck, bro? It's just like, bro, I'm sorry.
In case we haven't mentioned it in the last 10 minutes here, we're not exactly thrilled with the decision to kick a field goal. I don't know if that's come across yet, but yeah.
Yeah. Great transition question, though, too. I like this question because we're transitioning to the defense. Let's start there. Let's start with Patrick Graham, okay, who I think sometimes is too smart for his own good. I think that play was way too damn smart. Just play it straight, dog. Like, I don't understand it.
But here's the thing. No one's getting pressure. When no one's getting pressure, like you have to get creative. Like, I mean, I actually thought this was probably one of the better pass rush games the Raiders had, but they were also doing more creative stuff, like putting Max Crosby over the center and having him like loop around, running him on more line games. And it was working all right. Like I felt like Kuntz got in there for a few pressures. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we like look up on PFF tomorrow and a few more guys got more pressure than Max. I thought this was one of their better games in that department. But yeah, and then you live by the sword, die by the sword a little bit. Last play, you try and run a man coverage blitz, and they have the perfect play call for it, and ends up being the game. But again, it's tough for me to like I see what you're saying. Like he's like Patrick Graham's outsmarting himself a little bit, but at the same time, like if he was sitting there running back and doing the same thing, like I don't know if the result's that much different. We'd be sitting here being like, why aren't you trying anything else? Yeah, like I can respect him for at least like even in the last game too, like they were trying to blitz, like he's he's sitting there like screaming, I'm trying. You gave me the defense with the second least cap space, like according to it. And one of those guys that's like boosting us right now is off like tweeting into oblivion right now because we don't know what the hell.
The most expensive one.
Yeah, the most expensive guy on the defense, or I guess Max might be more expensive.
I mean,
the second highest paid guy like right now on the defense that again is the second like lowest paid in the league. Like what is Patrick Graham supposed to do? Like he's not a freaking miracle worker. Like we said it all last season, this defense needs more talent, and they go out and again, Marcus Epps, great game. We talked about him last week. Not exactly the guy you want as your marquee defensive signing when you had a terrible unit the year before.
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell he was doing. I was talking to BD during the game, and he was talking. He was trying to ask me. He was asking me these questions. Are they doing these coverages all year? I was like, no, I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell he was doing. Yeah,
the one where Calvin Austin beat him.
Yeah.
I was curious if maybe if they had like Pickens on the other side and they were trying to favor they were trying to favor his side because it looks like they got caught in one high, and then I mean, 30-year-old Marcus Peters is not catching a dude who runs a 4.3.
Yeah, especially
not anymore.
You open the gate immediately, and then he was toast from the beginning. But I don't know. I just feel like the point of a post safety is it's single high, it's a stop
to take away the post. Yeah, usually it is. Usually,
not for the Raiders. We don't do that over here. But because that was a big play in that game. And then Steelers are just kept getting them short passes. I think they're playing a lot of because the blitzing. They try to play a little bit more man today, and I think that didn't work out too well for them because I think it worked. But Nate Hobbs had a good game though. He showed a lot of plays on the ball. I thought he had a really good game, man. He's starting to grow a little bit in man coverage. I thought he kind of really stepped it up in this game. Bennett had he had the one rep, and then he'll have a bad rep, and then he'll have a pass interference. So he's a 4th-round pick starting in the NFL. So, but I mean, to be honest, there's some potential there. You could see it like, hey, if you could clean some things up. But yeah, on defense, I mean, Diablo, I got to go to the film, watch linebackers and stuff like that. But man, I don't know. I mean, the defensive line did get more pressure though. You're right there, man.
Yeah. I mean, I saw John Jenkins had like 6 tackles at TFL,
Yeah.
like had a nice play. Like he finally showed up. So that's what's frustrating is like I look at this defense, I'm like, man, I feel like they like had a few good individual performances, but you have the one big play, and again, you're put behind the sticks by your offense and put in bad situations, and it's not going to look as pretty. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said with Bennett too, like it was more of the same. Like get a good play coming. Bad play, good play, bad play, good play, bad play. And it's like, that's, you can't get that out of your starting corner, but that's what you expect from, again, a guy that's a rookie 4th-round pick that's out there on the field. He's not going to be consistent, but
yeah, he's not going to be consistent, man. And that's the thing. Like we got a rookie corner out there, and you know, it's like they're not playing that bad, right? They're not playing. You want, because going into the season, there's so much hype about the offense. Everybody's talking top 10 offense. I thought it was crazy. People are saying this offense could be top 10. My personal opinion. And we kind of talked about it. We kind of like put it out there, but we like didn't say it like straight up. But we kind of were talking about it during our little previews. We're like, oh man, got to say about Jimmy Garoppolo. But there's a big push for this offense, right? And this offense does not score more than 20 points. I mean, the Raiders gave up like 23 points to this team. I mean, you expect the offense to kind of just help them out a little bit, but that's not helping. I mean, I don't know how. It's hard to judge the defense because like they're not giving. I don't know. Like they had 2 3-and-outs, right? They got the ball back. They kind of held a little bit. They are getting some stops. You know what I mean? So it's weird. I don't know, but the offense has to play better. I mean, that's really what it is.
Well, adding to it too, like I think Raiders maybe had 4 3-and-outs tonight, maybe 5. I can't quite remember. I lost count a little bit, but it's like, again, like your defense. That's like when we're talking about, the defense is playing well. They're getting like decent individual performances, and then when you look at the scoreboard, and it's like, well, yeah, the Steelers had like 6 drives in the first half. Like it's the opposite of the Broncos game. Like that's hard to like continually keep teams off the board again when your offense isn't holding up their end of the bargain and not doing anything as far as ball control or anything. Which again ties back to them not being able to run the ball.
Especially when they play this bend don't break type of defense, where we're gonna bend, we're gonna give you the short stuff and play tight in the red zone, and we're gonna get a lot of field goals. And as I said, they were able to execute that, and they're doing a lot of bending and not breaking because they would give up a play and then they would get a couple first downs and then kick a field goal. I mean, one field goal was 57 yards, so there is some elements of them actually getting some kind of stops. It's just not good enough because they're not talented enough. It's basically Patrick Graham's whole career as defensive coordinator. It's basically him with, not a lot of talent trying to put a bunch of guys together, and then he leaves and they bring in like a Dory Jackson and a whole bunch of guys. So
at least on those teams though, he had Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence.
And
some guys on the outside that could get out for the passer a little bit too. So that's, and like you said, that's the big difference. That's when you can mix in man coverage on 3rd down when the game's on the line.
But this is on the offense. To be honest, I mean, they haven't scored more than 20 points yet. Let's keep it real, man. They haven't scored more than 20 points. We didn't hit that close to it. I mean, kind of. We got 18, right? About 2 points away. Daniels didn't want to go for 20 points. I mean, it was there. It was a chance, but he wanted to keep it under 18. So I can't believe he kicked that damn field goal.
Everything comes back to the damn field goal.
It really does. I mean, because it's 4th down. It's 23-15, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was a coward play. It was like my thing is like the thing that's great about it too is like they kicked a field goal and it's like, okay, now you still have to go get a touchdown. It's not even like a field goal like ties it or anything, or like it's not even like a point situation where they're down 6. If they're down 6, like it can make some more sense because you're like, all right, you get the ball back now. You only have to get a field goal to keep the game going. But yeah,
you still got to score the touchdowns.
Literally the only time I've seen anything like that is a covered play. And again, the Raiders were a field goal favorite in this game. Yeah. What was the over? Maybe that's what he had money on.
The over was 43. So, he was trying to. Yeah, it was 43.
They got the number right exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little insider there. The insider gambling now with the guys in Vegas out there. I don't know. To get the push.
Yeah, it would have been close. Yeah. Oh, no, they hit 41. They still have the under, right? 18, 23. Yeah, it's
20. Oh, was it 23-18 or was it 25? Yeah, you're right. 23-18. So yeah, they got the under. So yeah, maybe. So
maybe he was trying to go for the over. Maybe if you score, who dares? You score a touchdown, they hit the over. I don't get it. It is modern football. We are in 2023. That is something you would have saw in the 2000s. That's okay. In the 2000s, none of us would have tripped. We'd just be like, oh, all right, cool field goal. Let's get stop defense. Year 2000. Every fan in here would have been like, okay, cool. Let's get a stop defense. Let's make a play, right? But we're in 2023, guys. I saw somebody talking about Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley went for 4th and 1 from his old side of the right. The Ravens do that stuff all the time. Like, this is modern football. We have these nerds guys are in these, Raiders have nerds. I know they do. I've seen it. I've seen it board. They have nerds over there. So they got nerds in these buildings, and you can't do that, man. You just don't do that in modern 2023 football. But like I said, if it was 01, we wouldn't care. But we are here in modern football, man. This is modern. It's a passing league. We got Mike McDaniels running around with speed guys doing like all these different crazy stuff, and we're over here kicking field goals. I can't believe it was more. I'm sorry, I'm talking about this way too much, but
I'm letting you go off. This is all you right now, man.
because it just kills me that he did it twice. That's the worst part of it. It was twice, bro. It was like, okay, the first one you're like, all right, I guess from whatever, try maybe get some points, maybe get the ball back, but then he wasted another minute 30.
Hey, man, he's consistent. You know what? No one's going to change that guy's mind. He's going to stick to his guns, and he's going to be him. It's like Matt Nagy with his play call, BU. You know what I mean? Josh McDaniels, he's got that on there, and, kicked the field goal down 8, excuse me.
He wasted a minute 30. He wasted. You might as well kicked it the first time. I just honestly, that sums up him as a head coach to me. That really just sums it up.
Just behind the times, and
it's behind the times. See, because I see somebody talk about the Patriots way in here. Isn't it the Patriots way meant to be? If you're not doing the job, you get benched. How long are we still see it? See it, man. It's a long time, guys.
I still say they get 8 games. I don't know unless he gets hurt.
See, I always said the Raiders are the worst team in the league because I don't think they are. They just look like a 6-11, 5-12 team.
Again, the Broncos are the worst team in the league right now. They just got 70 hung up on them, and the Raiders did beat them. But I don't want to I'd almost rather get hung 70 because now the Raiders are I don't want to talk about this, but now the Raiders are playing their way out of the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, and not only that, but Caleb Williams might be going in the division to get a little bit ahead of ourselves. But at this point, it's brutal. It's brutal right now.
Yeah, man. Because when I do my quarterback show, Matt, I get to watch all these cool offenses. I get mad. That's so cool. All that motion they're doing over there. It's so dope.
I'd love to see. Devontae's are probably gonna be all right, but the spray chart differences between the two reset I'd love to see Devontae's versus Tyreek Hill's.
Yeah. It's a lot of digs. They're just running digs. Lots of dagger. Once you get to the second half, you're going to see dagger every third and 10. You're getting dagger after we get the first half, man. Because he just, man, I just can't believe he kicked the field goal there. If I was the owner, I would fire you. I would, just because
you fire him before he could even kick the second one.
Yeah. Who's the heck? I don't know. I feel like that was I just can't believe he did it twice. That was a minute 30. Anyways, man. We gotta. Didn't the Broncos trade that pick? We got any
What
questions
pick?
in here? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, let's get some
What
questions
question?
up.
All right,
Didn't
let's
the
get some
Broncos trade
questions.
the pick? No, I don't think. Did they give
Um,
it up?
what's up with Renfro? I see a lot of Renfro here. Renfro is open all the time, guys. I mean, he was open on a sack that Jimmy took, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think over
Yeah,
the
it was like
middle.
he. That's
Yeah,
why I'm interested to see how long McDaniels, because I don't think McDaniels is calling that bad of plays right now. It's just that he's got a guy who's just not executing them, and it's got to be frustrating for him because I think because that's what I'm saying. He's unloading the bag at Jimmy. He gave Jimmy the offense, right? He's not holding back, and Jimmy's not running it because Renfro was open. He's been open a lot, to be
yeah.
honest. And see, I don't know if that's Jimmy Garoppolo kind of just not trusting him, or he wants to throw the ball to Myers, or he wants to prove he can throw outside. I don't know, but you're throwing to Josh Jacobs short anyways. Just throw it on Renfro too, and get him mixed in, or Michael Mayer too, man. Get some Michael Mayer going. Yeah, Mayer open on the interception.
Which one?
The second one was the second or the first? That was the first one where he was under pressure, and then he is instead of like throwing to Carter, he does this thing where like he always like panics and like tries to find the second read, and just throws it to him, and then he got hit while he was throwing it, kind of. But Mayer was open, man. It wasn't like the ultimate separation, but it's the tight end, bro. He's gonna box him out with a good throw.
Yeah, a tight end that's good in contested catches too. Like that's part of the reason why they drafted him. And by the way, to answer the question from earlier, the Broncos traded their second round pick. They traded last year's first, this year's second round pick for Peyton, so they still have their first.
Yeah. All right. Other questions. Raiders gonna be good. Yeah, I see that. That's true. Is McDaniels trying to tank, or does he? No, McDaniels thinks Jimmy Garoppolo is Tom Brady, just like he thought Cam Newton was. Yeah. He's trying, guys. Don't think he's not trying right now. He is. I see the plays. He's trying. 100%.
And I feel like too, like it goes back. Like this goes back to his time with like the Broncos, where he's like, "Oh, I can make a high school quarterback an All Pro." I don't know if it's necessarily that he like thinks Jimmy Garoppolo is like Tom Brady, but just that he's overconfident in his ability, like in his system or whatever, to develop quarterbacks. And it's like, bro, the only guy that you've had like a consistent success with is the greatest quarterback of all time. Which I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You were not the one who put that guy together.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting when you read that book. I always talk about this. The only reason that Brian Dable didn't become the offensive coordinator and Josh McDaniels did is because Josh McDaniels has better handwriting, and he could write notes better on the board. So
what book is that?
When it's better to be feared. It's the Patriots book. It's about the whole Patriots run from like 2000 to basically through 2020. It's a great book. Gotcha. You read it, you can learn a couple things about Josh McDaniels too, how he was going to almost draft Johnny Manziel, but because he handpicked. That's what I'm saying. He has this thing with Jimmy Garoppolo too, because he handpicked him. Him and Bill Belichick gave him the job. Him and what's the dude? Lombardi.
Ernie Adams.
No, him and Mike Lombardi, I think, had this. They had to pick a quarterback for the team to replace Tom Brady, and they picked Jimmy. So he always has a little. It's his little like, I'm going to show I'm better without Tom. That's his guy. Like when he got hurt that year, he told Jimmy Garoppolo that we're going to show him that we're just as good with Tom. We're going to show him up, and that because that's in his head, bro. He wants to show that off. So that's real stuff. It is.
I'm glad that we can have another reason to be pissed off at Lombardi.
I know everybody wants Aiden to start, but we're going to see Jimmy Garoppolo. I see most of the questions about that. I mean, isn't this a tight end offense? What is happening?
Did Austin Hooper play today?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he was out there. That was sarcasm, but like the guy's gotten targeted once this year. I mean, Jimmy does not throw the ball to anybody not named Jacoby Myers or Devontae Adams unless he's checking it down to Jacobs.
To Jacobs.
Like I'm gonna look at the stats right now. I think besides the 2-point conversion, there might have been one other guy that caught a pass and was even thrown at.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's right. Abdullah had a couple catches.
Yep, another running back
catch. Yeah.
So had two catches this week. He had 2 catches.
Yeah. So So I was incorrect in saying that doesn't only throw to them, but of the Raiders' 28 receptions, 20 of them went to Jacoby Myers and Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs had 3, so they had 4 receptions outside of those 2 guys.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He just like panics and just looks for Devontae, which I get it. Like I kind of get it, but like he just shouldn't be panicking like he is. It's just I don't know. It's year 10. I ain't gonna change. Nothing like it's gonna get better. Like he's like gonna just miraculously take a step at this point. He's in quarterback prime years. If you're not good now, if you're not good between like 27 and 34, you don't have like some of your best years of your career. Then you're done. And throwing off his back foot, all that other stuff, man. Yeah, man. I don't know. 25 touchdowns, 25 picks. Does Jimmy? I mean, he's on pace. He leads the league in interceptions, right? Doesn't he? He has to.
He got 5.
No, 6. He threw 3. He has 6. He's 5 touchdowns, 6
last week. Huh? I thought you. I mean, yeah, I'm curious now.
Yeah, he has to lead the league in interceptions. And that's what I'm saying. I saw that coming too. Like he is top 10 in interception percentage since I think 2017. Right, he's top 10 in interception percentage, and all the guys in front of him are like Blake Bortles and guys who are starters. Those are the guys next to him are like Blake Bortles and like any quarterback that you wouldn't think is really good. Like even Baker Mayfield's bouncing back a little bit, but Mayfield, he is what he is. But yeah.
So Zach Wilson and Daniel Jones came into the week with 4.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, Wilson threw it. Wilson probably threw like 5. He played the Patriots.
I don't think he threw that many, but he didn't play well either.
What can the Raiders do to be successful on offense and defense with the personnel they have? It's a good question. I think what they need to do, I'm going to say this in the run game. I think in the run game, they got to find a way to get to outside zone. I think a big problem with this run game is that Josh Jacobs is a zone back. At the end of the day, he runs inside zone and outside zone really well, right? And that's probably the best things he does. I mean, his rookie year, that's all they did was run outside zone. He was a monster, right? And I think some of the runs they did later on in this game where he was able to get some yards, they were outside zone runs. And I think they got to get back there. They got to make him comfortable, do some inside zone. I mean, they're doing a lot of. He got away with it last year because he was just so incredible with some of the power runs. He was getting more patient, but he never really was really good at that, even when John Gruden was here. And kind of some of the problems what he has in short yardage, just because he's just not a good natural power guy. He likes to bounce things when he shouldn't and things like that. So I think when you have that, when you give him the option to bounce, like you have an outside zone, you can bounce it. It gives him, allows him to play more free, I think, in outside zone. He's able to do his wiggle. He has a great cutback. And I think they got to mix that in to get the run game going. But also, I think they got to do it at 11 personnel. We got to stop doing Johnson's got to stop playing if they want to run the ball. To be honest, yeah.
Like I remember you talking about it too. Like they went in 22 personnel, and I mean the one time they actually did have a good play call is when they did it and they threw the 2-point conversion to Michael Mayer off play action. But like they don't do that enough to keep people honest. Like you said before, when those guys come in the game, everybody knows what they're doing, and no one fears Jimmy Garoppolo, so they're going to load up the box, and that's exactly like what we're finding out. Like they need to they almost need to go to a spread offense
or something. Or something because they ran a lot of they ran pretty well for at 11 personnel against the Broncos. They had some pretty good success rate. It was like 88% or something like that. So that's what they got to do. They got to mix it up and do that. And then I think the passing offense. I think it's going to be tough, man. I think it's going to be tough all year for the passing offense, just because it's just Jimmy. He's not really comfortable out there. I think the offense is. It's tough offense to pick it up, and but I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough with our passing offense to get together. All right, some guys said I'm talking a lot of smack. So you're trying to get an interview for head coach position? I mean, maybe like a I don't know, high school.
I'll ask you the first question. I'll ask you the first question. You're late in the game, down 8. You kick the field goal, or you go for it on 4th down?
I am going for it because I want to win.
Fire. I'm hiring. I want the points. We need points. We need to light up that scoreboard in Las Vegas, Marcus. We need those points on that board. Make that scoreboard look pretty.
I can't believe it, man. I really couldn't believe it. That was shocking, to be honest. Just the twice. That's why. That's it. If the first time, like, oh yeah, whatever, I guess. But then you wasted another minute 30. You did it. Come on, man. Everybody knows that was terrible. I mean, I'm sure that's going to be like talked about because it's on national TV. I'm sure he got asked about it 4 times today. I'm sure. I read this press conference. They asked him 4 different ways. Why did you do that? So, yeah. All right, but we're at 35 minutes for instant reactions. Let's get out of here, Matt. Our venting session. Call this Raiders therapy. That's my brother calls this. Is Raiders therapy sessions.
Raiders therapy.
We like to thank you guys for coming and enjoying. We got 300 today. This is a damn game. 350.
People love misery loves company.
I know. I tell you, man. Raiders love negativity. My best tweets last week were the missing Jimmy. I haven't got any runs in a while like that.
I saw you get into it, getting down in the Twitter streets.
I was just telling them. I was trying to tell the people. I was letting you guys know. You saw it in the Broncos game. I saw it in the Broncos game. What they're going to look like going forward. So, hey, I let them. I was just letting people know. They want to think it was they want to do whatever they want to fight about. You guys, whatever. I don't care. All right, we're out of here, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully, of course, you're going to do the film review. We'll get the film out to you. Definitely drop that Wednesday. And then we, of course, got the preview next week. I'm actually have some Chargers guys. Steve Hagman's going to come on and talk to us this week. So get some. It is Chargers week. I still hate the Chargers. So hopefully the Raiders can pick it up. And, we can not let Justin Herbert do what he did today. Hopefully we don't blitz him 88% of the time like Brian Flores did. So, all right. All right, guys, we're out of here. Peace.
See ya.